Hi, today I'm going to be sharing how I use my existing Google Classroom for a rapid transition to e-learning due to the COVID-19 situation that's going on. I have typically always used my Google Classroom stream to post the weekly assignments that we're going to be doing in a given week. And I am still going to do that. I have a saved announcement here for this particular class. But as you can see here, I'm directing them to the Classwork tab in this instruction in the stream too. In the Classwork tab, that is where I have set up a specific topic. You can go create topic and then put your assignments in it. I've created a specific topic for the e-learning days, and I find that it works better when students are learning remotely, that your topics are labeled by the days or the weeks that they're going to be used. Whereas in a face-to-face classroom, I might have my topics labeled based on the unit. For e-learning situations, when the students are on their own, it's best if they can go straight to what they need for that time away. And the very first material that I've created, create material, in here is an e-learning overview. And it's just simply a Google Doc that kind of explains in more detail everything they need to do for this coming week. And I've also got a little blurb. If they have questions, they can email me or start a conversation with Google Hangouts. One tip that I would have, and these are all scheduled to post tomorrow, for your assignments, your topics, your materials that you're posting, is that whenever you give instructions for those things, in the instructions, you refer to them exactly with the same titles that you use here. For instance, in my e-learning overview, I'm going to click on that, you can see all of the bold items are exact names from assignments. And in my overview, I also like to put a little checklist too, so students can make sure they get everything done. But these bold items are worded with exactly the same names as these assignments and these items that are posted in the Google Classwork tab in the unit for this week. So that way the kids kind of know what they're doing. I like to give detailed instructions. And it can be also helpful to add little notes in the titles, like read first. This is for the overview. This is notes. These are assignments. These icons do already indicate what type of assignment it is, whether it's a question or just materials or assignments in these cases. But our students probably have not used Google Classroom to the extent that they would know that yet. And in this rapid migration to e-learning, I want to give them as much information as I can. I like to post these in the order that they are going to need them. And in general, I think it's a good idea to post all assignments for a week if you have one of your topics as an entire week. If this were just a single day of e-learning, like for a snow day, I would have all of the assignments for that day in there. The only exception would be if you want something to appear later, like if you're going to have an e-learning quiz later in the week, maybe you don't want that item to show until later, and it could populate, then you could schedule it. I'm going to have all of my assignments showing as of 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Monday, because I want them to be able to see everything that's in this e-learning overview document right away, so they kind of can see how it all fits together. Really, the best thing that you can try to do is to give very specific instructions for all of these things, and keep them clear, keep them simple, and just really try to be flexible with students. Very much so encourage them to ask you questions, encourage them to let you know if they're not able to do something. And, you have to kind of work through those things together, especially if the students are not used to doing this and they're going from 0 to 60 basically on their own. There are a couple of different ways you can make assignments more interactive and change them. You have to decide, for instance, when you're making an assignment, if you want it to be something that they can just view, then you're going to set, if you put a Google Doc or a slideshow in there for them, you're going to set that in the editing. You can change the settings for anything that you attach. I have this one set as students can view file, but you could also set it to be students can edit file if you want them to be able to edit the original, or make a copy for each student. And if you make a copy for each student, then you're kind of using it as a template. So really think about your settings, make sure everything is viewable and shareable so that your students can see it, communicate clearly. And again, I can't overestimate the importance of just keeping things simple.